Good rising, brethren. This is Big Judah coming to you guys in California. Before I begin, getting involved, praise is the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledge it, Yahweh Shai. I pray the Most High bless this lesson this evening. Gives more knowledge and understanding of the events of the past in order to understand events that are currently happening on the earth. So we get a much better understanding of the things that are soon to come on the earth. I had a brother named Brother Jerome who shared some information with me this evening, and I wanted to bring it to your attention. Discussing the X that's about to go over America. And he made a great connection with some of the information from the previous video. And I wanted to share it with you because I'm sure we'll do other videos about this eclipse that's coming up on April, let's say 8th, 2024. And see, one thing I see with the Gentiles is, they'll have people make certain, dates and talk about certain things that happen on certain dates. And then when things don't happen on those dates, they try to, diminish the role of that individual. Now, a lot of things, aren't necessarily about the things happening on those dates. It's like a change. Something, has changed, like a watershed event is maybe going to go on at that time. A changing of the guard, the beginning of the removal of people off of the land. The Most High maybe returning power to his people. Maybe, something will happen that day, or maybe something will happen before or after. But we know that big changes are coming. We know that it's a 7-year period between the first, line of the eclipse in 2017 to now, 7 years later, 2024, and the next leg or the next, leg of that eclipse is coming. And you also look at the way that the Most High is working with flooding the world with more information right before, this event comes to pass. You already see there's a huge sea change afoot. You can already see that there's big changes already going on. You see how the Gentiles are being exposed for having no understanding. They're being exposed for the fact that the scriptures aren't theirs, were never theirs, and they never had the authority to tell people what they can and can't read. And they never had the authority to break down the scriptures and try to give their breakdowns and perception of what the scriptures mean. All of that is coming to pass. Most High is just, like I said, flooding the airwaves with more and more information, and you hear nothing but crickets from the other side. You even see people that are in the truth or supposedly in the truth, and they're still stuck with only reading certain books and sticking with certain information. The same game plan has always been used to attack our people. Call you a pagan, call you a sorcerer, call you a magician, make all these false accusations, accuse them of the things that we're guilty of. And it doesn't matter, what you look like, it's about your spirit, and it's about the things that you do. That's what really brings to the forefront who people are. People who just ignore this information, ignore this truth, thinking they're still putting their faith in Cesare Borgia to save them. They're still putting their faith in white Jesus and this church to save them. So cracking up, I was looking at a video that's popped up with Greg Laurie, and he had some guest preacher coming on, and he was just talking about the American flag and American history and the founding fathers. And I'm like, bro, you're still stuck on all that? You're still trying to push that whole narrative about how, Christian and how God-fearing these founding fathers were, but you never talk about the fact that many of them owned slaves. Very difficult to talk about love and fairness and freedom when your founding fathers set up a country where slavery was legal and they partook of that forbidden fruit and benefited from it. really difficult to, you can do that when we're asleep and we didn't have this information and we didn't have this understanding and we were just going out of our way and looking away from things because we wanted to be accepted by you. We wanted your approval. We wanted to be, accepted so that we could be a partakers in the American dream. So we would overlook the blatant lies about, the greatness of the founding fathers and how this, country has been all about fairness and just like tomorrow is the 4th of you lied. And, how something my brother Zabak would say, the 4th of you lied. And it's just funny because, like I said, it's just, you guys lie about everything. We were not free at this time, July 4th. This was not we're not a holiday for our freedom, but we would overlook all these things because we wanted to be accepted before. Now we just don't care. Now we just realize that, hey, it doesn't matter what we do. It doesn't matter how much we try to work with you, we try to forgive you and move on. You still set up a society that puts us at the bottom and you at the top, and it's never going to change so long as you're in power. This has been your blessing, and you're going to enjoy your blessing to the end. Which, hey, I have no problem with it. You're going to be on top and enjoying your blessing as long as the Most High allows you to. But as you can see right now, we're coming to the time where the Most High is letting you know that you're at the end of your rope. You're at the end of your time of being on top. And the Most High is definitely giving you signs in the skies. So check this out. So Brother Jerome shared with me, and I wanted to share it with you. Now, this is from the video earlier today, where it talks about at 49 at the bottom, okay? And how they were killing our people for doing these things. And it says, they always kept their Easter like the Jewish Passover on the 14th day of the first moon, okay, after the vernal equinox. And thus pertinaciously opposed the Roman Church and the Nicene Synod, which had fixed Easter to a Sunday. Now, the brother did some, he kind of went through and checked out some information and looked where things fall and check out what he found. All right, so let's see here. Did I get that? No, I'm just going through the stuff here. Okay. Let me go here real quick. All right. Let me just pull this up. So I'm going to look this up. So we got, when is the full moon in March 2024? The full moon in March 2024 will be on Monday, March 25th. So pretty much the evening of March 24th going into the 25th is going to be the first full moon of the new year. And if you go back, it talks about going 14 days pretty much from the moon. I'm assuming it's probably the full moon. Will get you to the 7th, okay? The evening of April 7th going into the 8th, which is pretty close to the eclipse. So, which is then going to be our Passover. Our Passover is going to be around that 7th into the 8th, which is pretty close to the time, the 7th, we're going to the 8th probably for the eclipse, which is going to be the X marks the spot. So you take a look at that. I mean, hey, that's an amazing sign that all happens to just work out perfectly. There's going to be an eclipse around the time of our Passover here on April the 8th, 2024. So like I said, this is going to be a huge watershed event because there's signs in the sky that the Most High is leaving that man cannot corrupt. Now, what exactly is going to happen? I have no idea. But I know that the Most High is bringing massive changes to this world. He's exposing these other nations. You can see that they have no understanding. They're still trying to push their prophecies, and it's not working. And if it could go on forever, they would let it go on forever. The Gentiles would have these same stories going on day after day, these, wars and rumors of wars and everything else. They would just do that every day in order for them to keep the masses quiet, in order for them to be able to enjoy their blessing a little while longer. But it's only going to happen as long as the Most High allows it. And as you can see, there's a huge sign coming up right here, where this X marks a spot here in America, where these two lines are going to meet up in Maconda, Illinois. And Most High is showing you more and more every single day that these are the land. This land here of America, as they call it, is the land of the Israelites. It was the blessing and the heritage of the Most High's chosen people. And every day, more and more people are coming to that conclusion and sharing this information. And it's an absolutely beautiful thing. So again, the first full moon of March 2024 is the 24th going into the 25th. 14 days from that is going to be April 7th going into the 8th, which is right around the time of the eclipse, which is going to be right around the time of our Passover. And there's no such thing as coincidences. This is just the Most High confirming where we are as far as prophecy is concerned. Just like I made the video earlier today, many of the prophecies that many of these people are still waiting to happen in the future when the Antichrist shows up have already been, executed, already been fulfilled. And the restoration of the Most High's chosen people, marking the end of the time of the Gentiles, is upon us. That's why when you want to get knowledge and understanding, you're going to have to go to the Israelites. You're going to have to go to the Most High's chosen people, the ones that the Most High has sent the Holy Spirit to endow with understanding. And that's where we're at right now. There's your 2017, 2024. X marks the spot. This was made 4 years away from that 2024. Now we're right there, 1 year before. Less than a year now away. Showing you right here where and when in 2024, the total eclipse. Showing you where it's going to happen. Best places you can see it right there. So like I said, we're getting a lot of information, a lot of understanding. Knowledge is increasing just like it said it was going to. Most High is raising up his people once again. The other nations have had a party and, let the party keep on going, keep the party going, keep the Israelites down so we can enjoy our blessing. But now you've come to the end of that. And the Most High is marking the end of your reign in the heavens. This is why you've worked so hard to keep us from looking in the heavens. That's why when you guys got to sign your Declaration of Independence and everything else in 1776 and Pluto was over America, you guys, Pluto, there was no problem Pluto being a planet then. All of a sudden, when Pluto's about to make its way back around here again, marking the end of your reign, all of a sudden Pluto's not going to be a planet anymore. Pluto's not going to be a sign anymore. Just because you don't agree with it or approve it doesn't mean it's not true. As you can see, as soon as Pluto came back around, your power and your hold over the Israelites is definitely waning. Because you only had us down because the Most High put us in that position. And now he's raising us up. And as you can see, there's absolutely nothing you can do to prove any of this information wrong. All praise is the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement Yahweh Shai. Shalom.